This is Marketing of Today. I'm Cesar. Let's go!
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. Thank you to our sponsors for allowing us to continue producing podcasts, but more on that later. Right now, I'm here with Armando Pina. I know you guys like this new setup where you can see from the beginning the guests that we have. What's up, Armando? We haven't done this in a while.
In a while, my brother. How you doing?
We did one with Liv. Hey, Liv, what's up? How you doing?
What's going on, Liv?
Yeah, but now, today, we want to talk about some business. I see record label here of businesses running through everywhere. Tell me, why all these places and not just focus in New Jersey?
I'll tell you something. I'm a free spirit type of person, right? I don't consider myself being locked in one place, one state, one town. So many different reasons on why I actually chose to open up these teams. So Jersey, of course, you know, that's the heart. Then what else we have? New York City. It's the bridge, right? We have so many clients that's coming over and doing actually picking New Jersey.
People need to sell over there and buy here.
Sell over here, need to buy here.
Yeah.
A lot of people tired of, paying top dollar for a small cubicle in New York as well. One of those things that I noticed as a realtor, anytime that I had a client coming out of New York, it's two things that they asked me for. A driveway and a huge backyard.
First thing I asked for when I moved, I didn't care how the apartment looked. I just wanted a driveway.
That's exactly what it is.
I just wanted where to park the car.
That's why I decided to go to New York, and then Florida. That one is a little bit more personal. My oldest son, his mother moved from New Jersey to Tampa. So every time I used to go to Tampa and spend time with him, I catch myself, spending a lot of money on Airbnbs and hotels. And that kind of hit me a little bit hard because I felt a void, the void of, me being in a house that my son actually has his own room, and me waking up in the morning and, seeing that he's here, I'm here, that's his house. So I decided to buy a house in Florida as well.
And completely understand why.
And then I decided to open up a team. Since I'm there already, I might as well just combine both two and just, make some money out of it as well. Then Dominican Republic. I've been in DR probably like 7 to 8 times already. For a lot of you guys that don't know, I'm African. A lot of roots from Dominican Republic comes from Africa as well.
Yeah.
I feel at home. In the wintertime, it could be raining. I could be at the beach. I remember myself being a young kid. I used to climb the coconut trees. I used to be out there. So DR is definitely something personal to me. So I just decided to open up a team out there. North Carolina, I've been in North Carolina before. Since we already have a lifestyle in North Carolina, I do have a small fan base in North Carolina. They follow me on social media. And someone reached out to me. They gave me actually a referral. That someone that was moving from North Carolina to New Jersey. We started talking. The person, the realtor at the time, we spoke, and she said like, "Hey, I like your vibe. I like your energy."
Yeah.
The client, after you helped the client buy the house, the client called me back and she said that you are really dope. And I would like to collaborate. And I said, why not? So I just decided to open up in North Carolina as well.
And you're taking advantage of that. The business is also there too,
is there as well.
And it's opening in those locations. So
I'm not
part of your marketing.
I'll be very honest. I'm not licensed in all these states. I have to actually be very thankful to Lifestyle for allowing me to have this opportunity to open up all these teams. And I don't know if I'm gonna stop here. I don't know, but I already know I have 2 more, the Pina Group, coming soon, and I can spill the beans right now. One of them is Georgia, so the Pina Group is definitely coming to Georgia. And the second one, I can't spill the beans yet because it's something that is still in the works.
100%. Georgia, my family lives there, so you're definitely going to be their agent whenever they need to buy or sell something.
We'll definitely make it happen.
I want to buy something in Georgia, but let me ask you a question. We talked about Dominican Republic. I'm Dominican, if you didn't know. So what is it that you love about the island more? I know you told me about climbing the coconuts, but now in your adulthood, you get to visit, go multiple times.
I'll tell you this: it's the climate, right? Every time I go to DR, I mentioned that before, I feel at home, but it gives me a sense of freedom, right? And I looked at it, and let's talk about it, right? The money, it's very important. $2,000 American dollars here, it's a lot of money in Dominican Republic and in my country as well.
Goes a long way.
So it goes a long way. And one of my plans later on is to actually purchase a property in DR myself. And, I can say it, I want to continue to make money in the United States, and I want to live overseas. And DR is definitely one of those places that allow me to buy something, not too big, but something very nice.
Yeah.
That is not going to cost me too much money. And then I'll be able to fly back and forth. And because I do live in Florida as well, because I'm a snowbird. So I live in Jersey and I live in Florida as well. So anytime that I'm in Florida that I need to fly to Dominican Republic, the flight would be cut in half, and it's right there and there. So I'll make it happen.
Yeah, it's faster.
Yeah, so
and,
it is.
I see that, I know that you started real estate about 6 years ago?
No. I've been a realtor a total of 3 years.
Man,
I'm walking
about
into my 4th year right now.
Why does it look like it's been so long, though?
A lot of hard work and dedication, right? So my background, I come from corporate, right? So I used to be a regional manager in the furniture industry. I used to run 3 different stores, one in North Bergen, one in Rockaway, New Jersey, and one in South Jersey, which is a brick right next to Lakewood, right? Lakewood, yes, Lakewood.
Yeah.
So I have that experience, right? So I used to be a regional manager. I started as a delivery driver, worked my way up into sales, repo, collections, marketing, sales. So I have the skills necessary for me, to do what I'm doing now. And another reason why it seems like I've been around for so long is that I'm very clinical, calculated with my time. I know what it takes for you to do in this business for you to be very successful, which is sacrifice. That's something that I've been doing ever since I was a kid. So I work every single day. Every single day I work.
At all times, too.
At all times, too. So, a lot of people don't understand what this business is all about, right? You have to fit your lifestyle into real estate.
Not the other way around.
Not the other way around.
Same here.
A lot of people do that,
video,
right?
yeah.
So this is not a 9 to 5.
Nope.
This is not a career that you come in and one minute you decide to work, next minute you decide not to work. And it's funny because I just had the conversation with someone the other day ago, a few days ago, which is the more deals you put under contract, the harder you need to keep working. Because if you put 2 to 3 to 4 deals under contract and now you feel like you're the man, you got a few deals under contract, the minute these 4 deals close or a few of them die, whatever the case may be, now you're back to square one. Because even if you work hard again after you close those 4 deals, it's going to take another 2 to 3 months for you to close more deals.
100%. You don't eat today. It's not. It's a different sales, right? Because you're working 90 days ahead.
Yes, and I say it right. So real estate is always being able to live 2 to 3 months ahead of what's going on. So we in the month of May now. For me, I already feel like I'm in August.
Yeah.
Right. And when August gets here, I'm going to feel like I'm already going to be in, December or January.
Let me ask you a question. You actually bring in a great point. I feel like a lot of realtors, they work their whole year. They kill it. They make good money, but then they take January, February off. Not knowing that they work that on October, November, and December.
So I put it like this. I'm a hustler. Like I've been a hustler my whole life, right? So I love working, that way, and I love to actually be around challenges. And I feel like working in the wintertime is a challenge for a lot of people, right?
100%.
Because people actually get lazy, they get comfortable. You have the holidays. They don't want to be bothered. They're already stressed out with their families, with the gifts and things like that. Then you have Thanksgiving. So I feel that around that time, especially when it's very cold, right? January, February, and March, when it's very cold, I'm out there. Yeah. It's less realtors on the road. Anytime the client come out, that means they're very serious, because there is not a family that's going to be looking for houses in the wintertime if they're really not that serious.
100%.
So anytime that my phone rings or I get a lead coming to my email and I get on the phone with a client, if they tell me they want to come out in the next few days to go look at a house, I'm making sure that I make myself available for it, because it's guaranteed for me to put a deal under contract. And then it gives me a better a better way for me to live my life, because if I can put a few deals in the contract, like throughout the winter time, by the time the winter is over, I got a lot of deals closing. So on the other hand, other agents, when they take the winter off, now they come in the spring and they try to put deals in the contract, and some of them end up not putting a deal in the contract until the summer.
100%.
Right? So I'm always working.
You're working ahead of time because remember, again, it's a 90-day period.
Exactly.
And if you put something in contract in January, you get to eat of it in spring. While they're putting something in spring, they get to eat of it in the summer.
Yeah.
Same thing happens. Everybody, you got to think that way. You know, for me, business is 2 weeks, possibly a month in the works, and I get to eat off of that within that time. But you guys is different. And I think it's important that everybody make sure that they know what the schedule's like, how your life has to accommodate, and understand that this is not an easy business. No business, not even the hustling business is easy.
No.
Everything has its challenges.
No.
And talking about challenges, you know, we filmed a video in the middle of winter about 5 listings. That's exactly piggybacking what you're saying right now.
It was tough. After you gave me the final product, right? So we uploaded, we put it on Instagram or social media. I had a lot of people that reach out to me and they asked me like, dude, how are you in the middle of the street on the road in West New York on Palisades Ave, walking through the whole street, acting like you just you own those streets? Like, where's the cars? I haven't seen no cars. And I told him, like, listen, we shot this video at 6 o'clock in the morning. A few cars was coming, but I kept going. Like, the cars, they had no choice but to move out the way stop because I'm walking. I'm working. This is business right now. And then, you know, with your guidance as well, like you made the process look very easy, but it was tough. Like,
we were freezing.
It was freezing. It was cold too. It was very
cold. Like, I was like, yo, dude, I need a break in the car.
I noticed that every time me and you do something together, it's always freezing, dude.
That's what remember freezing. The one it was Newark?
One in Newark, yeah, Wainwright, with the 5 listings.
Oh,
yeah.
It's been freezing. Can we do something in the summer now, please?
No, we will. Yeah, we definitely have.
We got to do something in the hot weather. You know, I'll go to Miami if you want to.
There you go. There you go. I will invite you to Florida, and let's do something in the warm weather. Let's definitely do that.
I'm gonna bring something spicy, and I know you love the spicy stuff, right?
Yes.
Your walking brings a lot of positive and negative communication, even though sometimes it doesn't get to you. I know you hear from the different ears. Who do he think he is? Why is he doing that? But that's marketing.
I'll tell you this, right? It's my signature walk. Like, rather if I'm a realtor, rather if I'm walking around with my kids, if I'm by myself, that's just the way I walk, right? But since I'm a realtor now, then I know I need to record content. I just perfected the walk now, right? So it's very controversial, right?
100%.
You know, it works for me, and I tell the agents all the time, what you need to do is you need to find something that's very unique about yourself. Find your niche. And you need to capitalize off that, right? Because I'll put it like this. How many tall black guys you have in real estate? A lot of them, right? You do. But if you need to identify a specific person, and if this person has a certain unique walk about himself, another thing too, my socks, right? I like to wear different colorful socks.
Even shoes.
Even shoes, right? If you mention that, oh, the guy that always do the listings with the walk-in and he has the fancy socks, everyone will know who I am. But if you will just have to describe a person as the black tall dude, the realtor, it's too many of them. So that's something that I found that stand outs for me. And I think that's the number one job as a realtor, which is making sure that she can let the whole world know that they are a realtor. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job with that.
But not only that, also have a track record or delivery, right? Because that's the also important part where, okay, cool, he's doing the walk, but at the same time, he's delivering on what he promises.
Exactly.
And before we go to the sponsors, where do you see that you're helping people deliver that? And what do you see with agents that don't help? Too much talking.
Right. So for me, I'm
not trying to start anything. I'm just asking a question, right?
I like to help people, right? I had a conversation with one of my business partners today. This person was actually holding me accountable today. And one of those things that she said was that I have a very good, big heart, and I'm a big teddy bear on the inside. And I admit to that. I'm really a good person. I like to help people. Sometimes, I really go to the extra, level to help a person. And that's why I'm successful in what I do, because I don't do just business just thinking about the money. I do business thinking about, hey, this is one more family that I was able to help towards the home ownership. This is another family that's gonna actually refer me to their family members and friends. And this is a person that every time that they have to look and think about me, they'll say, hey, this guy did right by me, right?
Yeah.
And I'm very consistent. I like to work. I'm not scared of work. As you can see, as big as I'm becoming, I think I'm actually working even more, right? And that's something about me that will never change. This is not about how many houses I sold. Another thing, I don't deal with egos. A lot of people don't know that part about me, but I definitely don't deal with egos at all. Like, I'm here to help everyone. I'm available 24/7. Anytime the agents call me, I always answer the phone. And what separates myself from any other agent, especially the ones that are not doing what they're supposed to do, is the fact that I understand life. I have a lot of life experience. I'm 41 years old. Somebody just mentioned that if you were born in the 80s, you already went through five different decades and things like that, two different millennia, whatever the case may be. So I have a lot of life experience. So I'm very cool, calm, and collective. I'm very assertive at the same time. And that's what separates myself from anybody else, because I understand that this business, there is no 401k plan, there is no insurance, there is no retirement plan. So what you put in is what you get out, right? So, and I have two boys, and this is exactly what I'm doing it for. I'm leaving a legacy for my children, and I'm here to work. I'm here to work. And I tell the agents all the time, stop watching what the next person is doing on Instagram.
People waste so much time on that.
So much time on that. Stop portraying to be something that you're not.
100%.
Leave the egos alone. And I have a quick story to share with you, right? Not too long ago, I'm not going to mention any names. Not too long ago, I had a gentleman that actually joined my team. This person, very well put together when it comes to certain things. And I felt this person's energy. I'm like, listen, I can see doing something
working
with this person,
together, yeah.
like, right?
Building something big.
Me helping this person, doing something big with this person. And this person literally came in, took advantage of everything that I had to offer. I barely made any money with this person. And, I guess the egos start playing a big part, right? Not on my side, but on the other person's side. And one day this person just walked in and just said, like, hey, listen, I'm leaving the team. And I kid you not, this person was in my team probably like for good 4 to 5 months.
Yep. I remember.
Taking up space. I gave so much of opportunities and things like that. Did not deal with no ego at all. And this person just left. Literally, I think I made like probably like $70 or $200 with this person total. Gave this person all my leads and things like that. Not too long ago, he closed a deal a couple weeks ago with one of the leads that I gave. And then this person already had a few deals in the contract. You know what I did? I told him, look, I want no parts of that. I want no commission. I want none of that. If you ask me why I did that, it's because of the energy. I'm really big on energy. So if you already left the team, I don't want to receive anything else from you like another couple weeks from now, a couple months from now, because whatever I will have to receive, if it is $50 or $2,000 or $5,000, that's not going to make me or break me, because I'm constantly working. I'm really big on that, So, but guess what? This person ended up leaving the team, tried to build their own team, didn't work out for whatever reasons, and this person no longer here. And guess what happened to my business? My business keep going. As you can see.
I think it's important what you have in your heart, right? And when you're gonna deliver. And I think that I know everybody goes through different things in life, and I think that mentality of I gotta get there first, and it doesn't matter who I go through in the early age, right? Because that person's younger. They don't understand till later on that all they did was hinder their own business in the long run.
Yeah. Because I look at it this way, right? I don't take anything personal. I just don't. Like, if you can in this business, you cannot take anything.
I learned
personal.
that my second year, and
you just can't.
You can't.
If I'm going to sit in this business and take everything personal, I would not build.
Everybody's your enemy at this point.
Everybody would be my enemy at this point, right? Do I have a few people that try to be a little bit disrespectful that I really don't deal? Yes, of course, right?
Of course.
But at the same time, I'm not walking around and burning bridges with people just because I think I'm better than them or I'm doing better than them. No, I can't do that.
Nope.
I can care less who you are. You can have 10 times less or more than me. I'm still going to treat you with the same respect.
There's someone always doing better than you.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. And I'm still a student to this game.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I learned that there's people who literally just say, put this camera here and film that there and just made $100,000. Does that matter to me?
No.
No, because my game, the way I started, I was the one who grabbed the camera. I didn't know anybody. I built it to where I am today. So when I hear people, just like you hear yourself out there, make comments, say things, I'm this, I'm that, I'm like, dude, good for you.
I put it like this.
Good for you.
A person that spends time to trying to bash someone or have so many different opinions about a certain person,
show off.
It's a person that's not really doing much with themselves, right? What's the saying? Like, I'm here to collaborate. I'm not here to to compete. I'm not 100%. Here to think that I'm better than you as a person or as a realtor or whatever the case may be. It's the human side. You have to apply the human side. And a lot of people, and even that person that I was just talking about, this person has all the potential to be probably like 10 times better than I am as a realtor.
I agree with you on that one.
Sometimes you can have 70 to 80% of the components that you need to be great at this career, right? But if you're missing at 10% of being humble, of not dealing with egos.
Everything else goes out the window.
Making sure that you understand that things comes with time. Mm-hmm. And if you think that, I built what I built in 3 years, if you think I built what I built in 3 years by screwing somebody over or this, that, whatever, no, it came with a lot of hard work and dedication. 100%. A lot of hard work and dedication. And that's what this business is all about,
And I want to continue talking on this subject, but first, thank you so much to our sponsor. Here's a commercial.
Hi, my name is Karim Scott from iTitle, located in Clifton, New Jersey. We service all of New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and Florida. I'm here for all your title services. Just give me a call.
So Armando, I know that you're building legacy, and it's bigger than just right now and what you have today, right? That's when your mind is open to the future, and like again, you said 90 days. I know that you're thinking years ahead. Your family is important to you. I see that, like, you fly to Florida, you bought a house in Florida just to be next to your son. How is important your legacy and what you're doing and building for the future?
This is all I have. This is all I have. It's you
That's
being
why you put
able,
so much heart in it.
Yes, you being able to wake up every single day in the morning and understand what you're doing this for. The time that we sacrifice away from our children.
100%.
I would be very devastated, right? Because I had this conversation with my boys, right? And we sat down and I told them, like, hey, listen, Daddy about to go, on a mission. I have to work. It's going to be really hard. There's going to be times that we're not going to see each other. We're not going to talk to each other. But they understood. And the main reason why they understood is because I'm producing and I'm working every single day. I'm getting better, right? I'm still making mistakes, but I'm getting better. And they know that I'm building something great for them. Mm-hmm. And that's what gives me the extra battery on my back so I can leave a legacy because I grew up being like the black sheep of the family or whatever the case may be.
Me too.
So now, I feel like, I'm the golden boy and I'm
on the right track.
I'm the right track. Yes. I'm here to actually, to go ahead and break that generational curse, and leaving a legacy for my children because I didn't have that opportunity, and I talk about this all the time. I grew up very rough in Newark, right? Since a kid, I watched my mother getting evicted every year and a half. So I feel like I've been a realtor since I was a kid. So I understand. And that's another reason why allow me to be good at what I do, because every time I talk to my clients, I put the emotion and the feelings and the passion and the human side, up to top. And
Because you're experienced.
because I'm experienced with that.
Yeah.
And, the good way or the bad way, I have the experience. So we'll definitely make it happen. And,
It's
it
a
was
different feel, right?
Yeah, it is.
Because when you live life, where you don't know what's going to happen next, and you're always trying to make sure everything is good. And now as an adult, and knowing that from your childhood, you're making sure that everything's taken care of for your kids, and that's your hustle, and that's part of the gas and the energy. And as a father myself, I told my wife from the get, I'm like, listen, you're home. God, that's a blessing. Your job is to make sure they're good, and that's all I care about. My job is to make sure there's food on the table and a roof over your guys' head. It's been challenging to do that as a business owner, because we only eat what we hunt.
Yeah.
And if we're not hunting, we're not eating.
That's exactly what it is.
And I've been afraid of getting evicted at some point, man.
Gotcha.
And so I know, luckily I've been able to overcome those things, but it's not an easy feeling to feel like that. And where I relate to you is as a father, you're doing everything now. It's nothing matters. Everything's noise.
It doesn't. So people can understand the magnitude of nothing matters to me, right? As successful as I am, as many deals as I close, as much money as I make, right? I'm a very down-to-earth person. I drive a 2014 Hyundai Sonata in Jersey, paid for.
And you bought another
I bought another one in Florida, the same exact car is paid for.
Yeah.
I
simple.
don't really care about materialistic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say it. In the beginning of this year, I closed a deal in January, and then I ain't closed another deal until probably March, towards the April. But guess what? The bills still got paid. The mortgages still got paid.
Yeah.
My staff still got paid. The lights are still on. And I did what I had to do. And why I'm able to do so is because I live with the bare minimum, right? I'm building something. I'm building a future, a legacy for my children. And I'm scared, just what you just said. I'm a paranoid person because I don't know, something can happen to me. My health now might be great a week from now, a couple months from now, So I make sure that I always leave my funds available in the bank account, even when I can go on a trip. I can take a vacation every weekend. I can buy a Mercedes truck. I can do this. I can do that. Eventually I will, but for right now, I'm on building mode.
Yeah. And I agree, because the thing is, you have to be careful with the decisions. What the frick was I trying to say? With the decisions you make today, because tomorrow could change. I had 2 great years starting this business. Okay, so long story short, started in 2020. I was married. My wife was paying the rent. I was paying everything else. She was working. I was working. Then she tells me she's pregnant. I'm like, oh, we'll be fine. I'm making enough money. I'm good.
Yeah.
Little did I know that when you have children, you're not good.
Nah.
Because you're thinking you're going to be able to do everything the same plus that. And it was a learning curve, right?
Yeah,
and it takes a lot of hope. It takes a lot of understanding, communication, and also balancing yourself out, right? And, there's different ways that people do it. I go to the gym, sauna, get a massage, have a drink when it's too much sometimes. How do you handle all the pressures of 5 different things, right? Dealing with, because, I deal with a couple clients, but you're dealing with clients, loan officers, title people, inspectors, lawyers.
My secret, positivity. That's my secret. I mentioned. I
thank God every morning.
Yeah, I posted that on Instagram a few days ago. Negativity kills success. It's exactly what it is. So, do I have bad days? Yes. Do I have days that I feel like I don't want to come out the house?
Bed, yeah.
Yes, I do. Do I have a few days that I don't get out the bed like as early? Yes, I do. I'm normal, right?
Yeah.
I'm a human being.
I'm not a robot.
Right? I'm not a robot. But, you know, the key to it is actually being positive, right?
Yeah.
It's all about how you receive what's being given to you, right? If you receiving bad news, if you gonna, you know, dissect those bad news and you're gonna allow the negativity that came with the bad news, if you're gonna allow that to affect you, that's gonna affect everything else that you got going on. Right?
100%.
So I learned that, especially in my first or second year as a realtor, it was very hard for me. Like I had a lot of deals dying back and forth. Like I remember I used to be in my office, banging on the table, being upset. I used to curse at argue with the business partners. I don't do none of that stuff no more, dude. Like honestly speaking, I get a bad news today. I got a deal that died today. What I do is, hey, now you got another opportunity for you to go out there and put 2 more under contract.
100%.
The deal is taking too long to close. I'm like, okay, at least you know it's going to close. Now you have more time for you to go out there and put another deal under contract. And that's all it is. It's part of business. It's the nature
mindset,
of the business.
yeah.
It's the mindset.
You know, like for a long time, I used to think about competition.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to analyze what my competition was doing in order for me to do the opposite. Little did I know, and this was actually taught by me by Kyle, one of the first persons in the podcast episodes, for the first episode, season 3. He used to tell me, "You're looking at it wrong." Sends me a random DM in the night without me even thinking about anything. Yo, remember, you started this. And he used to say that, send that, and send it, and send it, and send it. And to one point, I was like, yo, people, I'm thinking that I'm copying them when it's actually the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
2021, I was doing this. I'm not doing it. They're doing it. 2022, I was doing this. I'm not doing it. They're doing it. And the way I looked at it was, you know how you do your walk. Imagine if tomorrow somebody starts doing the backwards walk, right?
Yeah.
And you're looking at this and you're laughing because you're like, yo, it's an image. It's a copy.
Yeah.
So what is it that you do different, and how are you different? And what I'm trying to bring with this whole logic is you're different in your own right, and you're different in your way, and people admire you. The people that need to admire you for that. The people that like you for that. And if you don't like me, that's okay.
Yeah. It's funny you said that. I'm not a realtor, right? Do I help people buy, and sell houses? Yes, I do. Do I hold a real estate license? Yes, I do. Am I a realtor? No. I'll explain to you why I say that I'm not a realtor. 90% of people that hold a real estate license, they focus too much on being a realtor. When you focus too much on being a realtor, you're blocking your blessings
100%.
because you're not allowing yourself to connect with your clients and to ask the right questions and allow them to trust you, because this business is all about trust, right? Can you imagine you calling a person, you asking a person to send you their bank statements? You have some people that have $200,000 sitting in the bank account. You have some people that have a couple $1 million sitting in the bank account. You have some people that only have 5,000 sitting in the bank account. So if you just a realtor, that's not enough for you to get the business.
Yeah.
So you need to apply the human side first, right? You need to connect with that client first.
Make them feel comfortable.
You need to make them feel comfortable first, right? You need to make them trust you first. And after you accomplish those things, then you can apply the realtor side so you can go in and help your clients. So that's the reason why, till this day, and I'll forever will continue to say that I'm not a realtor, because we're not in the business of selling houses. We are in the business of connecting with people, with networking, and making people feel a lot better about themselves, because you can only imagine, right? Especially you got a couple, they have a few children in the house. One person works in the daytime and another person works at nighttime. Now they have to put all the paperwork together. They have to give you the paperwork. Now we have the inspection. You have to do this. You have to do that. They stressed out. Our jobs is to actually take the stress away from our clients and make this process as smooth as possible for them, so that way we can take the deal from an offer accepted to the closing table. And that's what a lot of realtors fail to realize, that if you are just a realtor, that's not going to be enough for you to continue to stay in this business.
And then, connecting the realtor part, what's an avatar realtor for your team?
The avatar realtor for my team. That's a good question. I would say unique, right? I would say
I thought that was the title.
the title, right? So
You gotta come with your own uniqueness.
I don't consider myself a team lead. I don't consider myself a boss. And I think the difference between the Pina Group and anybody, a lot of these teams, is the fact that the agents on this team, they are not my agents. They are partners. My job is very smooth, and this is what I've been working so hard for the past 3 years, which is making sure that I build a strong foundation that's going to allow the agents to be themselves, right? So I have a mix of so many different type of agents, right? I have full-time agents, I have part-time agents, I have single agents, I have agents that have children, I have agents that are married, engaged. So I allow every agent to be themselves. And if it's going to take you 6 months to put a deal under contract, I will still be here to support you without having to take time away from my business. And that's what makes me different from anybody else, because I'm available. So anytime that I need to have a conversation and the agents want to call me, I come out all the time. I go to the listings, appointments. We have a beautiful office here. And then, the big plus that we have that nobody else have, not too many people have, is the fact that we have a big, big team behind us, the agents. So, I spend thousands of dollars every month making sure that our team get the right support. Our team doesn't touch no paperwork at all. We have the TCs, the transaction coordinators. We have virtual assistants that handle social media. Any paperwork that needs to be sent out, whether if it's listings paperwork, whether if it's addendums, whatever the case may be, contracts, offers, all that is handled by the back end, the people that actually makes this team be different than anybody else. So
100%, because that back team,
yes,
it takes away from that sitting on the desk and focus on building the business. I'm experiencing that now by having the editors, and now I'm looking to hire an assistant, and the reason is so I can have less time in front of a computer and more time with the interactions, because
yeah,
the money's made here.
Yeah.
The money's not made in the paperwork.
So you understand how this works with the realtors, right? We wake up in the morning, right? Take care of the kids. Some go to the gym, some drop off the kids to school. Some still stay in the bed, right? But at the end of the day, at some point, we all need to get out the house and we need to work, right?
Yep.
So once you're out there on the road showing houses, with your clients and things like that, you come back home probably like around 5, 6, 7 o'clock. You come back home exhausted already, right? For being out there all day drained. You've been working all day. Do you think your job is done? No, your job just started now. Because now you need to come back home, right? You need to open up your laptop, your computer. Now you need to write up offers. You need to contact the agents to find out how much commission they're giving, if they given any, right? Now you need to contact the clients still to get the email addresses, to do this, do that. They need to sign the contracts and all of that. By the time you get home at 6, 7 o'clock, you're going to spend another 3 to 4 to 5 hours in front of the computer to write up these offers. And then if you have a family at home, then you got to spend another hour with your family, which it can be 11 o'clock at night, midnight. And sometimes you don't get to spend time with them because they already sleep. And this is what I offer. This is what this team offered to all the agents that actually want to join us, which is the fact that we give you as an agent an extra 3 to 5 hours a day for yourself. Rather if you want to spend time with your family, rather if you want to dedicate some time to, to hobbies, rather if you want to, to generate more business, work out. And this is why it works. And another thing too is I don't take no credit for none of the sales that the agents do in here. When I tell you that we are really partners, we are partners. I don't care, even if it's leads that I'm providing to the agents. None of those
I
leads
noticed
come
that
with my
every
name.
time, what's his name? Sorry, Ariel.
Yes.
Sorry, Ariel. Apologize. I know your name was coming in. Every time Ariel does a closing or anything, it's Ariel that did the closing. It doesn't matter that he's part of your team and he's one of the. He pushes a lot of business.
No. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I have several agents in this team that don't have no need to be in this team, right? And I think that the reason why they still here is the fact that I give them the freedom to do so, right? Some of them, of course, after you close certain deals with the team, and after you show some type of loyalty, right? I actually allowed you to have your own logo on anything else that we do as well, because you work hard for that, right? That's something that you cannot take away from you. I heard stories like in so many different team leads that if an agent leaves their team, they completely disconnect everything and they take everything that the agent worked so hard for. So if they have an agent that's been in a team for 2 years and they decide to leave 2 years later after they made that team lead so much money, the team lead actually unplugs everything that they worked so hard for, and now they need to start all over because they don't have no track record of any deals being closed because the team leads took credit for all the deals. So I'm not the type of person. When I tell you that I don't deal with egos, when I tell you that whenever your time comes for you to leave the team, you're more than welcome to do so, because I'm still in production. I'm in here working. I feel good by being able to help different agents. And I think that at this point, I feel comfortable enough to say that I'm finally becoming a mentor to a lot of agents, and myself, I still need a mentor as well. As I mentioned before, I'm still a student to the game. So
what I see is ego.
Yeah.
I think the big word of this podcast towards the end and towards everything we talked about, in the real estate business, there's a lot of ego.
Yeah.
Talking about lenders, title people, everybody wants to get one over someone else. And when you find people, and luckily I find people that come from a good heart, like the Franciels of the world, yourself, like the Chris of the world, right? Yeah. These people come from a good heart, and they're still in business today. They're doing business without having to push that hard because everybody gets aligned.
It's funny you mentioned Franciel, the Campusano group, right? It's a brother of mine, right? I met him literally last year. In the beginning of last year, we became very tight. Let's be real about it, right? Technically, we're supposed to be competing against each other, right? But I don't feel that way, and he doesn't feel that way neither, right? He has his own ways to conduct business. I have my own ways to conduct business, right? He has his own goals. I have my own goals, and I look up after him, right? So we all help each other, right? I could be sitting up here and I'm gonna say the words, right? Being a gatekeeper, right? That's what a lot of of agents, a lot of people in this industry do. But I'm not a gatekeeper, and he's not a gatekeeper as well. So I help him, he helped me. You have the podium, who's the first place, second place. I don't look at it that way, right? Because what that man is doing, I'm not doing what he's doing. What I'm doing, he's not doing what I'm doing, right? Yeah. So only him know the science behind his madness, and only myself know the science behind my madness, right? Because if I would have to go and start to worry about trying to be number one every single month, trying to compete, against my own peers, I'm defeated already, right? 100%. Because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help families buy and sell houses. I'm not here to try to compete against other agents, right? So if I'm making money, if I'm helping other agents, if I'm taking care of my family, right? If that allows me to build something so strong the way I've been building, why should I be out here worrying about what the next agent is doing? And I think that's the biggest problem that we have right now, which is everybody's just so focused, oh my God, he's doing this, he's doing that. How is he doing that? How can he afford to do that? Oh, you see, he just closed a deal today. Oh, you see what he's driving today. That's the problem. Social media, I'll say it now, I'll forever say it. Social media is the biggest tool that you can use, but you need to learn how to use it, because you can definitely get caught up into the world. To the negative world of the social media.
And do things for it,
yeah, not
for you yourself.
That's exactly what it is. Because I know a lot of them. I know a lot of realtors, team leads that, quote unquote, doing so great.
If you want to know if a realtor is doing good or bad, just go to the MLS and put their name on it.
That is true.
That will tell you everything you need to know.
The famous line, what Jay-Z said?
Zillow. Just go to Zillow.
What Jay-Z said? Man lie, numbers don't. Man lie, what is it? Man lie, woman lie, numbers don't.
Funny enough you say that, right? Back to the person that we were talking about earlier. I was in my house and he popped up. Just closed a deal recently. Yeah. And I showed it to my wife. I'm like, what, if you were to see this person, what do you think?
Yeah.
Oh no, he looks successful. He looks this. And then I'm like, give me 1 second. Go to Zillow. 9 transactions in the past X amount of time. Did some quick math. Added up the numbers. I'm like, I make more than he does. I was like, wow.
That's exactly what it is, you know.
And the reason why I went that deep into details, right? Because I wouldn't do that generally, is because I stopped caring what you make.
Yeah.
There's people right now on social media saying, you can make $100 million. You can make this. Fuck it. Do it. Congratulations. I'm happy for you and your family. I'm glad that you're able to bring your family to that financial wealth.
Yeah.
I will get there on my own pace and in my own way. Yeah. I got other responsibilities and other things to take care of.
You know what I say? I can admit it. You know, didn't do anything crazy, but I use those words, which is, you have to fake it till you make it, right? Yeah. I used to say that in the beginning.
Me too.
But I changed the narrative. It's not you have to fake it till you make it. You have to go through it till you make it. And
believe on it.
And believe on it as well. I think that that's the problem that we have right now, which is the fact that,
Confusion.
A lot of people want to, they want to fake, like they want to act like, they superior. They want to act like they a boss. They want to act like they in control. They want to act like they making so much money. And that's the rush. Like you are rushing your process. Like for you to become a great team lead, for you to make so much money, you have to go through it all. And that's the problem. People are trying to skip the steps. You can't, right? It's so many weeks, not no more, thank God. But in the very early stages of my career, right, I went months and months like $100, $200, $300 in the bank account after I paid the bills. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do, but I kept my faith, right? And I stayed loyal to myself, right?
100%.
As you know me, like I used to always talk about how hard things were for me. I'm one of the very few agents that go on Instagram and talks about, my deal that just died today, that, struggled, my finances wasn't up to par. I remember in the podcast that we did the first time when I mentioned that I was in a hole, like $60,000 in credit cards in debt, like, and it took me literally like almost two years for me to clear that up. Right. And last year I was grateful enough to, when I did my taxes after the money that I made from the year prior, I literally sent a wire to the IRS for $50,000 in one shot. I paid my taxes, $50,000 in one shot. And, a lot of people, they call me, they text me, it's like, dude, like, are you crazy? Like, why you paying I have to pay the IRS. This is money that I accumulated throughout the year. This is money that was tax-free, that I knew that I was supposed to put anything between 15 to 20% to the side for every deal that I closed,
100%.
Because that money did not belong to me. And that's the problem that a lot of realtors do. I made that mistake in the beginning, right? I'm no longer making those mistakes, but that's the trials and errors that you need to learn.
Yep.
And then we have so many realtors, right? For instance, if I'm a client and I'm trying to buy a house, right? And I have to pick and choose over a few realtors. One of the main questions that I will ask that realtor to make, as a decision factor, I will ask them, like, do you own a house?
Why? Because a lot of people say that, but they don't say why.
Because how are you going to be able to help me to navigate through the process of buying a house if you're not even a homeowner yourself and you call yourself being a realtor? And don't get me wrong, right? I'm not saying that for the realtor that been a realtor for 1 year, 2 years.
Still I'm talking
about someone that been a realtor for 5, 10 years, and they walking around acting like, this shit don't stink, right? That they got this nice car, they eat in the fancy restaurants all the time. They got the Louis V this, it's like you are not focused on your own business. You focus on creating a status for yourself rather than actually building a legacy for yourself, right? And that's one of the reasons why I would have asked that question, because how can you really, really help a client if you've been a realtor for over 5 years, you don't even own a house? The sense of urgency. You have no sense of urgency.
Knowing how the business works and seeing the opportunities.
Exactly my point. So that would be one of those questions. So,
man, this is one of those podcasts that is gonna,
yes, it is.
That's going to stay. So thank you so much for being on once again, man.
Appreciate you having me, my brother.
I mean, how can we, I don't know what to follow up that with. I think this is the best way to finish. If you have any questions, definitely hit up Armando. His social media has been on the bottom of the whole podcast. And people, having conversations like this is important because he didn't know what I was going to ask. I didn't know how I was going to follow it up, but he definitely gave his perspective. I gave my ideas. And that's what life is about. Little by little, we get to learn where we're going next, how we're moving. Tomorrow, you might decide to move to Florida and never come back to Jersey again.
Who knows?
Who knows what's going to happen in the future, but always keep a positive mindset. Always stay on top of your things. And regardless if you did good or bad, always show up and show face.
Yes. And stay humble, man. One day you can be up, next day you can be down. Stay humble. Make sure you know how to treat people. It's okay for you to celebrate your wins. It's okay for you to be different. But what's not okay is for you to look down on people and give people opportunities, right? If they showing you loyalty, they showing that they want to learn, they showing up day in, day out, and they want to become better than they already are, give them that opportunity because you never know. Especially from the business that I come from, I had opportunities that one day I was the boss, the next day, a couple months later, a couple years later, that person ended up becoming my boss. So make sure that you understand that you have to treat people the right way.
Funny that you say that. When you were saying that, you reminded me. I used to work in call centers in the ER when I lived over there because that's the way you make the most bread over there.
Yeah.
Because you know English. So one of the supervisors from a previous job I had was now a new trainee under where I was, and I was training him.
That's insane. That's insane. It goes, matter of fact, let's put it in perspective as a realtor, right? So on my very first, I'll say year as a realtor, right? I had the opportunity to become a team lead, right? And I remember it was a few top dogs that'd been around for like 10, 15 years, right? Some of them, I don't know what it was. I never had a conversation with them, right? But, word got back to me that they was kind of hating on me a little bit. They were saying like, oh, who do you think he is? Like, he's a brand new agent. How come he's a team lead? I don't think the new agents should be a team lead. And guess what? I kept working, kept doing my thing. 2 years in the industry, myself as one agent, right? I did more volume than the whole team put together. There was about like 10 of them in the same team, including the team lead. And that just goes to tell you that if you stay focused and you believe in yourself, you'll be surprised what you can accomplish. You'll be surprised how many people you can shut down just with actions rather than you going back and forth, trying to seek validation on why you should do this, why you should not do that. Listen, you're a brand new realtor, 2 months in, and you want to become a team lead. You got what it takes to become that team lead. Go out there and go get it, man. Go do it. Become a goddamn team lead. You want to open up a brokerage like in 3 years? You want to take over the world? Go do what your mind tells you to do. Don't stop for no one.
What matters is the money in your account.
That's it.